Hey, it's Trip. It is Friday, and it's kind of chilly here in the sanctuary. We don't keep it real warm during the week because, we're not using it. Anyway, just want to talk a little bit about this coming Sunday. It's Boy Scout Sunday. Boy Scout Sunday essentially is the Sunday where all the Boy Scout troops in the country are supposed to go to worship. It's one of the core values of scouting. Of course, in the century that scouting has been in the United States, that's changed a little bit. So I will actually have kids in my service on Sunday who are Jewish and some who are not religious at all. Their families aren't. And I'm told that there may even be a Muslim family in the mix. I think this is awesome. Things change. In 100 years of scouting, I doubt that the guy who started scouting thought that this young group of Western civilization, these young men, these boys, would actually represent such a wide swath of humanity. I don't know that was even in their imagination, but who can say? But essentially, a century later, this is what we're doing. The sermon I'm going to preach is about fishing. I did this 3 years ago with them. It went pretty well. I actually brought a fishing rod in and talked about fishing. But this time I want to talk about what happens when we forget how to fish. And there are a lot of ways that we can spin that. What I'm particularly interested in for Scouts and for my church, which will be a century old in 2013, what do you forget over the course of a century? What are the things that you actually need to hold on to? Lots of things change, and they need to change, and institutions need to shift and find new ways to communicate and to express themselves. But often we forget some really principal, primary, essential things. So Jesus, this is church, so I got to talk about Jesus. Jesus is hanging with the guys on the seashore, and this is a story where he tells them to cast in their nets. They've had no luck all day. He says, cast in your nets, and they pull in the nets, and miracle of miracles, there's a bunch of fish. And he says, you think this is great. I will make you fishers of men. I will make you fishers of people. I wonder if we've forgotten that about the church. If church has forgotten that it exists for other people, not for itself, and that if there's any sense of a catch, if there's any sense of growth, that it comes from giving ourselves up and giving ourselves over to other people, that is essential to who we are. And we get distracted by the number of fish, or we get distracted by something else, and we think we're supposed to be doing something else, something new and flashy and different. And though technology will change, and I'm posting this as a video on YouTube and stuff, when they built this church, this building, people didn't drive cars, or hadn't for very long. People were still coming here in horse and buggy. You can ride up and down the streets of this little village, and you could see old hitching posts that people have kept in front of the older houses. It's just technology. It'll change, and culture will change around with it, but I think we have to remember other things and not let these changes distract us. Those are my thoughts this morning, or this afternoon, about Sunday morning. I hope you'll enjoy. I hope you will join us if you can. It should be a good time, and we'll have the heat on. It'll be all right.